The ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship presented by Ally starts in beautiful Blacksburg with the Hope team. Virginia Tech Hokies hosting the Pitt Panthers. This is the first of 9 games over the next 7 days. Buckle up, going to be a fun week to decide who will be the 2023 ACC champions. Hi, everybody. Alongside the Hall of Famer, Sheehan Stanwyck Birch, I'm Jay Alter. Sheehan, it's here. Best time of the year, playoff time.
No doubt about it. Everything's on the line for that automatic bid. And we've got 2 teams that are fighting for their right to survive. A win today, they can continue their season. If not, they are likely packing up the locker rooms tomorrow. So really a lot on the line today.
So a win or go home scenario for both teams. Who sets the tone?
It's the 2 sophomores for both these programs. For Pitt, it's Ava Washington. She's got great height, 5'10", leads the team in goals, and the last 2 games she has been super strong. 3 goals against Notre Dame and 3 goals versus Clemson. When she goes to cage hard, she is looking to score, and she can finish very well. So Washington's going to set the tone for this Pitt team as they try to really make things happen. And Vergano, the sophomore for the Hokies, she has just been unstoppable. She missed a lot of the preseason, but she's been extremely strong this later half of the season, coming off a 5-goal performance against UVA. She knows how to break down the defense. She's extremely hard to stop. She also plays a huge role in draw control, second on the team with 91.
And Pittsburgh making a bold move today. ACC tournament, and how about a first career start for the freshman Molly Kane in goal?
Huge opportunity. There's a lot of youth on this Pittsburgh team, and Kane will step in for Hannah Van Middelen, who's been the starter.
These 2 teams just trying to keep their seasons alive and get into that quarterfinal on Wednesday. All 4 games on the ACC network as our ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship is underway. It's Virginia Tech that starts with the ball, Hokies in white. It's a Virginia Tech team that finished the regular season 9-8, 3-6 in the ACC. We saw them all the way back in February, Sheehan. Played North Carolina, the reigning champs, extremely hard. Lost that game 10-6. Also lost by only 2 goals to Boston College and James Madison, 2 top 5 programs. Pittsburgh comes up with the turnover on the opening possession. A Pitt team that obviously did not have the season they would have hoped for. A difficult season, a new program. This is just year number 2. They went winless in the ACC in the regular season. Sheehan, how could they turn the tables, get the upset in their first league win today?
Well, right now they're in tournament time, so there is nothing to lose really for either of these programs. But talking to Coach Boissonneau from Pitt, right now is just nothing to be afraid of. You just go out there, be hungry and fearless. They are the underdog, but they just need to go out and finish, play together. An excellent start, starting with the ground ball from Molly Kane in cage and transitioning down the field. Now a great opportunity at the 8-meter for Emily Coughlin.
The Pittsburgh native, a great opportunity for Coughlin, the junior. One-on-one with the freshman goalkeeper for Virginia Tech, Jocelyn Torres. Coughlin charges in, lost the handle. Pittsburgh remains with possession.
She just held on to that for 1 second too long, and a good job by Virginia Tech getting a stick on that. Camdyn O'Donnell luckily able to gather the ground ball.
Coughlin in attack mode again. Can't get her hands free. Great opening possession for Pittsburgh. Can they cash in? Yes! Camdyn O'Donnell opens the scoring for the Panthers.
Watch the patience here for O'Donnell. I actually thought she had that shot right when she received the pass, but instead she opts to get a better angle, gets herself to the inside with a little jab cut, drops her stick low, excellent patience, and throws in a little fake there too, and gets Torres really moving across the crease, was able to allow her to finish that shot.
Well, for a team that has only won 1 game in their last 11, Emily Boissonneau, upbeat about her team headed into this tournament, felt like they still had their best lacrosse in front of themselves, and obviously getting the opening goal will do wonders for this team's confidence.
Yeah, and not only is it the opening goal, they also had a great first stop on Virginia Tech, really being successful defensively. So end to end.
This is year 2 of the program for Pittsburgh. Last year in their first season, they went into the ACC tournament in this exact game, first round action, and beat Louisville 13-10. Of course, their goalkeeper, Paulina DeFatta, had 19 saves in that game. An incredible individual effort. But maybe they can ride some of that momentum and say, hey, we're a young program, but we've won a game in this tournament before.
I think that definitely the confidence that comes off of that, playing 2 games in the ACC tournament last year.
Great opportunity, whizzes wide, and Pittsburgh there to back it up. What a start this is for the Panthers.
You know, Jay, we often talk about when you put a new goalie in, whether it's in relief during the game or even starting a new keeper with the freshman Molly Kane today like Pittsburgh, sometimes the defense, it provides that extra spark. You know that the defense was challenged. We've got Molly Kane coming in. She's played some quality minutes, but she's making her first start. You got to protect her. And you can see the defense communication is on point.
No, we asked head coach Emily Boissonneau, why now? You've played 16 games in the regular season, decided not to start Molly Kane until the ACC championship first round, a bold call, and she said she just felt like this was the right time. Obviously, Kane has played extended minutes throughout the season coming off the bench, but this is her first start today. Played her most minutes of the season in the loss against Clemson, 48 minutes on April 20th, last time out. .30 seconds left on the shot clock.
Good spacing created by the Pittsburgh off-ball players.
Tried to squeeze it inside. Nice takeaway. Kayla Frank, the senior, did well to poke that away. Both defenses dialed in the opening minutes here. Sheehan, is it tough not to play tight in a game like this when you know if you lose, your season comes to an end?
I think there are definitely a lot of nerves going into the game, but you have to realize the body of work of the season. There's a lot of game experience. You're familiar with these teams. You've seen them in the regular season. And after you get through the first couple minutes, things should settle down.
Vergano, a lefty laser, beats Molly Kane and ties it at 1.
The sophomore Vergano has been so impressive this season. Takes the catch on the run, and I'm actually surprised that wasn't considered a shooting space or a dangerous shot. Watch, narrowly misses the defender in front of her, but Vergano's able to let this one fire and rip non-stick side. 46 goals this season for Vergano. 4 goals in that earlier meeting against Pitt back in March.
There's Kristen Skyra, year number 2 at the helm of the Hokies, coming from Army. I enjoyed our conversation with her yesterday. She has a lot of confidence in this team. Vergano, who just scored the goal, obviously the leader of this offense. She said if we could just get our offense a little more consistent, she feels like this program can take that next step.
Yeah, I really enjoy talking with her. She realizes some of the weaknesses they have, but understands that they have so many great young players and that they're so close, that they've got a lot of the building blocks. And they've been in a lot of the ACC games. They've fought toe-to-toe. That UNC game that we had earlier in the season, they were in that game. It really gave UNC a tough battle.
Just the other night against their rivals on the road at Virginia, they were in that game until late. Played Boston College at the end of March, lost 14-12. So if a couple of those results go the other way, we're talking about Virginia Tech potentially working their way into the NCAA tournament as an at-large.
And they had the big win for them against Duke, getting that ACC conference win. Duke hasn't had the strongest season for them, but still a huge confidence booster.
Pitt's been very patient on their opening possessions, working the shot clock under 20 here. Sydney Naylor decides to send it back out.
So looking for the isolation play. They just need to be careful when the double comes, make sure they get that pass off the open person.
Great save, a double save from Torres, wow!
Excellent stop for Torres, following that ball, getting that rebound. That looked like she was ready to cash it in.
And now here come the Hokies, a save and then a score. That's how you play transition lacrosse. Ella Rishko.
This all starts with the save by Jocelyn Torres. She's almost able to corral in her crease. Look at her ability. She's down on the ground. She's able to explode up, transitions downfield, and Ella Rishko, second on the team in goals scored. Beautiful job in transition, and to let that not set up, recognizing that they had numbers, that she had room to go to goal, and to strike when she did instead of setting up the offense.
Risco, the goal and the assist for Virginia Tech today. She's second on the team on the season in goals. How about the freshman making a huge instant impact for the Hokies this season?
I mean, you just look at the numbers there, and it has something. You look, Sarah Gresham, 101 draw control. She broke the record at Virginia Tech this season. So really, as a freshman, to lead your team in draws and having just such a strong goalkeeper, that gives you a lot of hope for the years to come.
How rare is it in the ACC to have a freshman draw control taker and a freshman goalie?
I can't think of a team that has had that same, having a starting freshman in both of those positions.
How much will that benefit Virginia Tech going forward, getting all these reps, all this experience so early in their careers?
I mean, when you talk to any coaches, I feel like the first thing they say is draw controls are going to be huge. So you have a great, somebody can win possession for you, and then if you're not winning, you have a goalkeeper that can come up with the big saves. It's a huge and really a way to build everyone in front of them, the offense and the defense.
Pitt opened the scoring, but now back-to-back goals for Virginia Tech. The winner of this game meets Syracuse on Wednesday in the quarterfinals. Both of these teams trying to keep their season alive and advance to Charlotte, where 8 teams will meet to decide an ACC champion. Great turnover by Pitt. This defense has come to play. And they give it away.
And a check across the body, so it goes right back, but it was an excellent takeaway. Just got to make sure you clear, but that's what you need to do if you're Virginia Tech. When you have a turnover, you don't relax. You put the pressure on, try to get the ball back. Because it changed possession, it'll go back 90 seconds.
Early. That one a killer from Pitt. You do so well to defend and then give it right back. Here's Vergano. Trying to get her left hands free. Opts not to shoot, instead finds Rishko. Curling around, a dive shot didn't go. Pittsburgh's been defending a long time. A hold will keep the ball with the Hokies, a fresh shot clock as well.
This is a real extended possession here. Pitt's doing a nice job clogging up space. And that's
really
the
nice
feed. That's a hard feed to make when a team is playing against a zone. There's a sea of blue shirts in there. Very hard to thread the needle. Even if you make the catch, I don't think she's going to be able to get that shot off. She might be able to get fouled. But excellent defensive effort for Pittsburgh.
Had to defend for almost 3 minutes there when you combine the turnover, giving the ball right back to Virginia Tech, and yet Pittsburgh comes up strong. Now an opportunity to tie it at 2. Just wide. O'Donnell, quick restart, good opportunity, but a little too high on the pass. If Virginia Tech comes up with another turnover. So both teams still trying to find their offensive rhythm in this opening quarter.
I think both these offenses are looking for that easy pass inside, or trying to make it easy, even though it's a really difficult pass to get it inside, and they're going to need to look for that next pass. So the defense are baiting them to try to feed it, jam it down the center of the 8-meter. Look for that next pass, maybe the one away from that person, to give a little bit more opening. Vergano's been trying to attack from up top. Hasn't been able to get a real lane to Cage. This is a foul. Looked like it was they're calling 3 seconds. Also looked like they may have got her with a check across the body. Yeah, that stick goes right across kind of the face and body area. And that's a safety call.
Maura O'Malley at the 8-meter, 6 of 9 on free positions this season. One-on-one with the freshman Molly Kane, making her first career start. Nice job by Kane to kind of put O'Malley off there.
That's going to call it a charge foul.
Wow.
That was a hard collision. So let's take a second look. Looks like it went like face to face almost with the collision. And that's hard when the, I hope that she's okay. It's always scary when that head-to-head collision.
You can hear Kristen Skyra speaking with the officials too, trying to get an explanation for why that was a offensive charge call.
She said she did not have the ball yet, but she forced over the
Let's take a look. Slow down a bit. It's really hard to tell from that angle. I mean, if the defense has their positioning set, I couldn't tell from that angle if necessarily that was the case for Pittsburgh. But the call was deemed a charge, so it will be Pittsburgh's ball in the clear.
Now Pittsburgh struggling on the clear. They've failed 2 in this opening quarter. Virginia Tech trying to make the Panthers pay. Up to Vergano. Blows it right by Molly Kane. What a goal, Olivia Vergano.
Sometimes when a player goes down, it causes you to take an extra second. Not the case for Virginia Tech. They respond in style. Olivia Vergano, she's got 2 goals on the day. Virginia Tech with the score.
These two teams met back on March 11th in the regular season. Virginia Tech won big, 19-6. Now they're meeting in the ACC Championship presented by Ally. Sheehan Stanley, Birch, Jay Alter with you. How much can you take away from a game that was so long ago, Sheehan? These teams have improved, changed, and obviously they're meeting again, and you can look at that film, but how much does it really matter?
I think nothing. I think at this point in the season, you kind of toss away those regular season games, and being in conference play, these teams are very familiar for what they've done the entire season. So you're scouting, probably watching week in and week out how they're doing. But that earlier season meeting, it definitely gives Virginia Tech confidence because they had such a dominating win. But if you're Pitt, it just gives you fuel to the fire. I mean, right now, Virginia Tech is calling this, the ACC tournament, their redemption tour where they can avenge all their losses. But Pitt's got this, has to have the same mentality as well, and they're looking for their first ACC win.
Yeah, Pitt, a program in their second season.
I mean, this is a game where both these teams, this is their hopes for the postseason. You have to win to survive. Pitt not going to be eligible because of their record unless they win the automatic qualifying bid. And Virginia Tech could potentially be on the bubble and the at-large selection if they continue in their winning ways. Martinet is going to get called. She gets hit hard. Let's take a look at this. She's holding her neck area. Let's see where the extension of arms, and that goes right in her neck. That should have been a yellow card. So she gets whistled. Watch this. The extension of the arms is the problem. Even if that went to the body, but because it was high in that neck area, that should be an automatic card, but she'll be on the hash mark, closest to where the foul occurred, right in the center.
Martinet charges in, follows it up and scores. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's exactly what Hannah Martinet did there to make it 4-1 Hokies.
Well, if you're not going to get the yellow card, at least you got to get the goal. So Martinet charges in, and then just love her patience there, waiting for the rebound. That's what you do as a shooter. You sit there, you're ready and waiting, and she's able to finish it on the second chance attempt. Never feels good when you get fouled, but it feels a lot better if you can score a goal.
And Molly Kane has to be thinking, how did that deflect or rebound right into the stick of Martinet? Because it was a great save.
It was a great save. And Molly Kane has an interesting setup when she's in cage. She's got a great height, but she puts her stick kind of in line with her body. So really just making the shooter think, I'm not sure if she's trying to bait you to go one direction or not, but she's had some success in making some of those stops.
And I love that angle, too, on the free position, where you can really see Kane in goal. I thought she did well on a previous free position to put off the shooter. And Virginia Tech just dominating possession right now at the end of the first quarter. Pittsburgh scored the first goal, but now it's been 4 straight for the Hokies. Virginia Tech continuing to pile up the pressure. They've already had 7 shots on goal. 4 of them have gone in.
And once Virginia Tech gets into their settled offense, it's harder for them to have gotten good looks on cage. They've had most success when we saw the 8-meter shots, when they had numbers.
Oh, that is so clinical. Olivia Vergano, a first quarter hat trick. She gets those left hands free. She is so dangerous.
And, you know, one of the things of her skill set, she's able to break down defenses, and she had a hard time finding her lane to cage. Here, she figured it out. You see that jab set, goes to one side, the change of direction gets her defender on her side, so her hands are completely free. And then she just lets that shot go with a little riser, changes the trajectory, gets her 48th goal this season, and she's coming in hot. 3rd goal already today. Vergano originally committed to Army, and that's where Kristen Skyra was the head coach. And when Skyra got the job at Virginia Tech, Vergano followed with her.
That's a lot of belief in Skyra to have faith that Vergano can make the adjustment to the ACC, which she has absolutely proven she can play at this level. Not just play at it, but at an extremely high level in her first 2 seasons here at Virginia Tech. Friday night, 6 Eastern time. Number 5, Florida State taking on Notre Dame, opening the 3-game series in South Bend right here on ACC Network. ACC softball. All the spring sports feels like getting into the most important time of year. Obviously here in the ACC Championship for women's lacrosse over the next 7 days, we will crown a 2023 conference champion. It feels wide open, Sheen.
It's wild, and especially Syracuse was one of the undefeated teams in the nation along with Denver. They went down. Boston College getting a big win to close out the season, the regular season. So we've got some exciting, a lot of exciting games that are coming up in the next week. And I don't really know who the favorite is to win it right now. I mean, it is wide open.
Well, North Carolina's won the last 6, so are they the favorites, I guess, until they get beaten?
I mean, wow. Virginia Tech just on a roll.
Ella Rishko. And it's 6 straight goals for Virginia Tech.
Risco just is so quick. You just look at the separation she's able to get from her defense, gets to the center, increases her angle, absorbs the pressure on the check.
That's what he wants.
Beautiful shot placement. Kristen Schuyler likened her to like a wind-up toy. You just wind her up and then she just explodes. Let her go to cage. And Virginia Tech really in this first quarter just dominating the draw control wins and the shots. 12 shots for Virginia Tech with just 4 for Pittsburgh. But Jay, when you mentioned
it was 1-0. Yeah, it was 1-0 Pittsburgh.
And yeah, Pittsburgh started off the gate strong with a great defensive stop and a score. They got to just battle back, try to figure out a way to get some draw controls, cause the turnovers. Tech with another win.
6 goals in under 10 minutes for Virginia Tech, and they can add another here in the final 20 seconds of the opening quarter. Here's Vergano, already 3 goals to her name today. 5 seconds to work with. Nice save from Kane to finish his first quarter. But it belonged to Virginia Tech, the opening 15 minutes. Such a strong start for a Hokies team, hoping to advance to the quarterfinals on Wednesday. Well, in win or go home situations, which this is for these two teams, first round of the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship, you hope your best players can step up, and that's certainly what Olivia Vergano has done to start this game.
3 goals on 4 shots for Vergano today. Just really seeing what the defense is giving her and taking it hard to cage. You can see her, she wants the ball. So she's getting her stick out in a position to receive it, and then she's able to get her position in a place to score. She's got has the numbers here. Look at the handle of the shot. Love her finishing ability. Really impressive start offensively, but a huge factor on the draw circle, which cannot be taken away. You've got Gresham, one of the freshmen on Virginia Tech, who's got over 100 draw controls, and then you've got here Olivia Vergano, who's got almost 100 draw controls to her name. So huge amount of success trying to win that ball at the center circle.
I just marvel at the stamina, Sheehan, to play the entire game on the circle and then be the leading scorer for your team as well. It's just incredible. And so many players do that. It's not just Vergano, but it always astounds me when you look at those draw numbers and the goal scoring.
Well, I often think it goes hand in hand, to be quite honest, because if you are the leading goal scorer, you want the ball. So when your team is down, it's like, get me in the circle. Like I was an offensive player, wasn't great defense, but if we needed the ball back, I wanted to be on defense. So these players, they are feisty because they understand they need it for the possession. Pitt gets here a much-needed win. Good pickup for Samantha Zero.
Virginia Tech dominant in the draw control circle in the opening quarter, and the score line followed. When Virginia Tech went on that 6-0 run, they were 5-0 in draw controls during that time. Pitt just one shot in the last 9 minutes of the first quarter. Their offense starved for possession in the back half of that first 15 minutes.
A hold, and this will stay Pittsburgh's ball.
I asked my coach that. Yeah. As soon as it's almost turnover, I'm fine with it.
Pittsburgh really bunched up inside that 8-meter right now. Coughlin down the right alley. It's lacking flow right now, the Panthers. The shot clock's under 5. Behind the back, great save by Torres.
It's hard. This Pittsburgh team doesn't have a lot of their goals assisted. And they're just trying to dodge from up top. Ava Washington, their leading goal scorer, does not have a shot today. So they got to get the ball in her stick more.
This week's featured baseball game on ACC Network and the ESPN app is Friday night. Number 8 Virginia taking on Duke. First game of their 3-game series at Davenport Field. Coverage begins 8 Eastern time right here on ACC Network. Of course, the Women's Lacrosse ACC Championship semifinals will be earlier in the day on Friday, 1 and 3:30. What's crazy is 10 teams start today alive for an ACC championship title, and by this time next week, it'll be 2 teams playing for a trophy.
Such an exciting time of the year. We talk all season long about getting to the position yourself in a great place to be for the conference tournament and then for the NCAAs. Shooting space call here. And they're going to place her on the outside hash mark. That's that hanging hash mark. Oh, actually, they'll move her inside, which is a much better angle.
Blair Shada, the junior, passes out of the free position. Tried to squeeze it into Rishko.
It's going to stay Virginia Tech's ball. I think they called a held stick check. Oh, false start.
Risco left a little early.
We've talked about it. That's one of those rules I don't like. If the offensive player false starts, it's an automatic change of possession. If the defensive player false starts, they blow the whistle. That defensive player goes behind, and then you do another reset up of the 8-meter. But got to make sure you wait for that whistle and you don't jump it.
Sheehan, you should be allowed to submit rule changes, just like Jenny Levy, North Carolina's head coach, proposed last week. I want to see the Sheehan Stanwick Birch rule changes.
That could open up a whole can of worms if they started letting the general public just start putting in their thoughts.
Well, you're more than the general public. The voice of the sport for 2 decades. Oh, Pittsburgh trying to get Emily Coughlin free, so desperate for a goal. It feels like a long time ago that Pitt led this game 1-0. They had such a strong start. Virginia Tech with all the momentum right now on a 6-0 run.
There, Ava Washington finally with the ball.
Boy,
that was an excellent
snuffed it.
take. I loved her ability to get through the defense. Now the shot needs to make sure she needs to change a level on that. We're right in the stick of Torres. But you got to get the ball into your leading scorer's stick, and she showed the ability to get to Cage as he's a finish.
Neither team has scored in the opening 5 minutes. A good opportunity here for Virginia Tech.
There's another shooting space call, and that's when that defender gets into the path of cage, and they're not within a stick's length of the person shooting the ball. Virginia Tech 0 for 2 on their 8 meters.
And that one trickles in. Kane got a piece of it, but not enough to keep out Ella Rishko's shot. Cashes in on the 8-meter opportunity. It makes it 7-1 Hokies.
Rishko, I just like her change of direction here. So most of the time when you're coming on the 8-meter, players just attack straight to cage. Watch her stop, and then her defense is completely out of position. They're leading with their sticks. They're not ready for Rishko to move and get to the center of the field. #36 goal this season for Rishko today.
Rishko and Vergano with 6 of Virginia Tech's 7. Those two have been a dynamic duo for Virginia Tech.
The little sideline can seems perfectly timed up to the celebration music.
Well, they've had a lot of practice.
But
if Rishko's 3 goals today and 38 on the season. What's so scary about this Virginia Tech team is you look at their contributors, and we've mentioned Risco part of an all-star freshman class, but Vergano just a sophomore. This is a really young Virginia Tech team that will continue to improve and grow, and this is just the start of something here for them in the ACC. You feel like their future is extremely bright.
Kristen Schuyler really feels like she's building something special, and the players, even though they've had some tough losses, that their energy is still great, the belief is there. Virginia Tech in a nice position with the 6-goal cushion. Nothing to relax in, especially with some of the games we've seen with the comebacks that Boston College in particular has been able to make against Notre Dame and Syracuse. But take their time offensively, look for the right shots. Those feeds right on the doorstep of the crease have been hard to contain. Both defenses swarming. I think Martinet's going to maintain. They're giving the ball back to Martinet. It looked like she was fouled. Yeah, well, she'll get possession. There's the hustle for the ground ball.
That's exactly what Pittsburgh needed. Got the stop, but couldn't get the rebound. That's a couple of times that Pittsburgh has failed to clear it.
You can hear the defense saying, lefty, lefty, watch out. And defensively, you want to make sure you're not allowing the left-handed player to have their strong hand. So good to let the whole defense know what you're up against and just remembering.
Lefty, lefty, lefty.
Great feed, the spin, everything but the finish. Paige Tyson. Yellow card coming.
You know it when you hear that strong whistle. This is going to be awarded to Talia Zuko. And we'll take a closer look at this. Watch the stick coming across, and that one gets just hits the head. And it's a 2-minute releasable yellow card. Will be releasable on a Virginia Tech score.
Doesn't go up.
It is. It's on the play.
Deciding to pass out of the free position. Player up for the next 2 minutes.
They're going to call a shooting space. So the defense needs to adjust because Pittsburgh has been caught in quite a few shooting space violations. You either got to approach at an angle and lead with your stick and not with your body. Good. That was a legitimate shooting space call there as well. Again, it's a safety call. Have to be marking up to a player.
And Virginia Tech cashes in on the player up. Laura O'Malley makes it 8-1 Virginia Tech. Hokies have scored 8 in a row, Sheehan.
Laura O'Malley does the work to try to get this score. Cuts through the defense, protects her stick, and Virginia Tech, they are on a roll.
We've been talking about how Kristen Skyr has built this Virginia Tech program. This is just her second season. How about the freshmen and sophomores? The contribution she's getting from the underclassmen right now, Sheehan, is remarkable.
Amazing. I mean, you just see all the names listed there and their various contributions. And today, 7 out of the 8 goals have been scored by players on that list, with Vergano and Rishko leading the way.
Dominating the draw as well, Sarah Gresham. An outstanding season, over 100 draw controls on the year. They are up 8-2 in the draw control circle right now. And the score line reflects that, 8-1. It's funny, sometimes you do get games where if you're dominating the draw, it can reflect that on the score line. And there hasn't been too much to do for Jocelyn Torres today. Another draw control win for Virginia Tech. No, I spoke too soon. Nice job, Pittsburgh. Emily Coughlin battling out there on the circle.
Coughlin really so fun to watch for this Pittsburgh team. Emily Boissonneau saying she's really hard to take off the field. She does a little bit of everything, strong in the defensive end. One of the best one-on-one defenders they have. Excellent shot. And they found her basically by accident at a skills clinic. They were looking at another player, and they saw Coughlin going through the drills, and she just never took a play off. And she was already going to Pittsburgh, and they convinced her to try out for the team.
They had no plans to play collegiate lacrosse until that clinic. And a conversation with Coach Boissonneau to convince her to give it a shot. Now, one of the best players on a team in the ACC. Year 2 of this program. Last year they had a strong inaugural season. That was behind a lot of transfer players, including Paige Petty, who had a remarkable career at Virginia Tech. You know, all those grad transfers only had that 1 year of eligibility, so they all graduate, and it's left Emily Boissonneau playing a lot of players that didn't really play a year ago. And
I thought that was interesting when we talked to her, saying, you know, they really dipped into the transfer portal last year, but this year wasn't something that she wanted to do. She's got players with 3 years remaining of eligibility on her team right now, really wanted to develop them.
You do wonder, you know, after a 4-12 season, winless in the regular season in the ACC, does Emily Boissonneau decide to go back to the portal for next season? You look at the roster breakdown, only 2 graduate students this year after they had over 10 a year ago. Vergano again. Number 4 has her 4th goal of the afternoon, and it is all Virginia Tech in the ACC championship first round.
One of the things that Coach Skyra wanted to have happen for Vergano was for her to be unscoutable. And I think when you watch her shots today, you can see she mixes things up. We've seen her change the level of her shots, attacking from different angles, the dodges, and on that 8-meter, when she just fires it low, very tough to scout if you're trying to see, does she have a tendency, where is she shooting? Coming off 5 goals and 1 assist versus UVA in the loss last week. The last 3 goals for Virginia Tech have all been coming off a free position, so that's an area, and all off a shooting space violation. So that's something that the defense, and when you're playing zone defense, as Pitt is, you can get yourself into trouble by sagging off and being in those shooting lanes. But Virginia Tech definitely realizing that when a defensive player is sagging and drawing that foul.
Pittsburgh so desperate to try and put an end to this 9-0 Virginia Tech run. Panthers have been held scoreless since that first goal. Ripped away. Battle for the ball, won by Virginia Tech, so Pittsburgh's gonna have to keep waiting for their second goal. Pitt has missed their last 8 shots after scoring on their first shot of the game, which came less than 2 minutes into it. Great opportunity, Molly Carter makes the extra pass, and Pittsburgh finally cashes in. Camdyn O'Donnell again, he's got both of Pittsburgh's goals.
This was a heads-up play, excellent passing, and love the patience of O'Donnell. Sometimes when you're wide open at the keeper, you get a tendency that you want to shoot right away. Jocelyn Torres was nearing every single move, and you just had to throw in that one extra fake, and that's what O'Donnell did, and she's able to capitalize after Pitt missing the last 8 shots. Look at O'Donnell, just 5'1", but San Diego State transfer, and this season 19 goals, 6 assists. She's one of those players that Coach Boston said they really rely on her to get things going. She's with the only 2 goals scored today.
Under 3:30 left in this first half, Virginia Tech back on the ball, a 7-goal lead after that Pitt goal. Winner of this game will face Syracuse on Wednesday, part of a quadruple header on ACC Network. 8 teams will play on Wednesday in Charlotte in the quarterfinal of the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship. Bella Rishko trying to get her hands free. Already 3 goals today and make it 4 for the phenomenal freshman Ella Rishko. So much power behind that shot and an immediate answer for Virginia Tech.
Love this. The double team is there. Rishko steps back. That allows her to get separation for the shot, and love the placement of the shot. Watch the bouncer. Very high, gets high in that crease area, and then that's able to just target that top upper corner. Causes Kane to have to drop low and follow it. Very tough to read. When you get those high bounces on the crease, they just release differently than a bouncer that's closer to the goal line, which would have a much lower bounce, has a little bit more speed. But when you have it higher in the crease, it can really pop off and hit those top corners.
The Rishko and Vergano both with 4 goals today, 8 of the Hokies 10. Shooting a combined 8 of 9. That is highly efficient.
You know what that means? You got to keep shooting. That's too efficient. You got
What was your best game, Shea? Did you ever go perfect in terms of shots and goals?
I don't know. But I always like that quote that you got to shoot to score. So that, you know, even if you were missing, or shoot to get hot, shoot if you're not hot, you just got to shoot. I didn't meet many shots I didn't like.
Pittsburgh hasn't won a lot of draws today. They've been playing a lot of defense, but they win a draw here. And get some momentum on their side headed into halftime. Naylor tangled up. The rebound, followed up and scored. Finally, Pittsburgh gets a ball to bounce their way.
We've seen a couple of those when the first shot doesn't go in and rebounds off, how you're able to score. Because the defense tries to react and figure out where they're supposed to be positionally. But Maureen McNearney's able to just pick that one up the grass, protect her stick, and a much needed score. Now Pittsburgh, they've got 2 goals scored in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
First goal of the season for Bo McNearney. That's what can happen if you win the draw. I mean, Pittsburgh just hasn't done well enough on the draw control circle. Finally got one there, and they cash it in.
This is a great wide look of the field as well. And it's so pretty when you can see a field with just lacrosse lines on it.
Rishko's got the hot stick right now, 4 goals to her name, passes out to Vergano, who also has 4 goals. Two-headed monster, give and go. Rishko off the pipe, inches away from a 5th goal in this first half.
I mean, they saw something that made it a reset. I can ask. That would have made it a reset. Right.
Nice save by Kane.
You know, there seems to be conversation about why that was a reset. I thought that hit the pipe, which would be, then it would be a reset of the shot clock. Looks like a good call.
Rishko has a step and uses it. What a first half for Ella Rishko, the freshman. 5 goals in this ACC first round.
From Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, she is just so quick. Love the little stick fakes that she throws in there. Gets her positioning free, and she's wide open. I mean, the Pittsburgh defense, you've got to collapse on her. You make an errant check, she's going to blow by you. She really does an excellent job of getting to space to give herself a nice shot, whether it's a reset of the dodge that gets her to the center of the field, which increases her angle. She can move at a really fast rate, which slips her by the defense, and then excellent finishing ability.
Fifth time we've seen the can-can today after an Ella Rishko goal. An 8-goal lead for the Hokies. Right off Time for one more. Here comes Virginia Tech. Pittsburgh battling back. McNearney not giving up on that draw. 20 seconds now for Pittsburgh. Panthers desperate for a goal. Went scoreless for 24 minutes and 29 seconds in this first half, then scored 2 in 1:40. 3 seconds left. Naylor out of options. That brings the first 30 minutes to a close. Virginia Tech dominant, doubling up Pittsburgh on shots and leading 11-3. Joined now by Hokies head coach Kristen Skyra. Coach, an offensive explosion for you this first round.
Yes.
How about Ella Rishko and Olivia Vergano leading the way? What's worked so well on the offensive end?
Yeah, I mean, well, like Pitt's going in and out of a man and a zone, so both are finding ways to be dangerous. You know, we have both kind of inverted high, so they're getting a lot of looks, whether it's off of 8-meter speeds, drives, off of passes, so they're really ignited. And the funny thing, I mean, we prepared for them to be really locked off in this game and for everybody to get involved, so, you know, I think maybe that adjustment could perhaps be coming in the second half for Pitt to key in on them more, so hopefully in the second half we can get some more people involved. But really proud of them, just having standout performances on the draw as well. They're really doing a lot out there, so very proud of them.
Got to give your defensive love too. Pitt was held scoreless for almost 25 minutes. What have you liked out of them?
Oh, I love our defense. Our defense is doing so good right now. Just like keeping it simple, having each other's backs. You know, 2 out of 3 of Pitt's goals have kind of come off of like rub, you know, unsettled stuff. We turned the ball over, they quickly pushed it right back down, and so they've had one like goal against and like a really settled. They had to beat us 7v7, and so I love what our defense is doing out there right now, and hopefully they can keep it up, keep working together.
An 8-goal lead at halftime. Coach, good luck the rest of the way. Virginia Tech, an 11-3 lead as we get the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship presented by Ally underway. It's halftime here at Blacksburg. Time to hear what's good in the ACC.
What's good is Virginia Tech senior captain Mary Griffin. In 2020, Griffin received a CT scan that revealed pancreatic cancer. Acting fast, Mary underwent surgery to remove 40% of her pancreas, her spleen, and the tumor. After a tenacious road to recovery, she was cleared to play 3 months post-op. Celebrating her 2-year cancerversary this past November, Griffin has been heavily involved in the Headstrong Foundation, which assists families going through cancer treatment. Griffin helps lead the foundation's Game Hair Havoc initiative that empowers athletes to style their game hair throughout the season. Turning devastation into positivity, Mary one day aspires to be a sports broadcaster. Mary, we hope to see you in the booth soon.
Virginia Tech, an 8-goal lead at the half. She and Stanley Birch, Jay Alter with us. And Sheehan, you want your best players to step up at the biggest moments. And Pittsburgh certainly got a hot start. It was 1-0, but then Virginia Tech started to take over.
Camdyn O'Donnell, the senior, is able to open up the scoring with a quick score. And here's a beautiful passing display from Pittsburgh. Excellent feed, and O'Donnell's able to get her second goal of the day. But Virginia Tech, they just started winning draw controls and answering, creating open passing lanes or going to goal by just clearing through. And Ella Rishko, the freshman, was on a tear, creating space for her teammates clearing through, and then for herself with her quick dodging ability, protection of the stick. Really impressive freshman. And the sophomore, Olivia Vergano, has been on a tear. Her ability to catch and then create the shot, excellent placement, just fast, this great ground ball here, and setting herself up into another position to get a goal, and with a dominant stick drop. Virginia Tech, first round of the ACC tournament with an 8-goal lead. The Hokies are up 11-3.
You're watching the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship presented by Ally. A beautiful day in Blacksburg to get This ACC championship started. She and Stanworth Birch, Jay Alter with you. The first of 9 games this week to crown a 2023 champion. You look at the first half between Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. The Hokies an 8-goal lead, and the stats reflect that.
I mean, you see the possessions, one on the draw control, have allowed Virginia Tech to double up on shots, and the fouls. A lot of Virginia Tech's goals they've been able to score coming off the 8 meter. So it's all about possession for the second half if Pittsburgh wants to try to climb back.
These two teams battling to keep their season alive. The winner faces Syracuse on Wednesday. You want to make it to Charlotte, be part of what is going to be a wild Wednesday, 4 quarterfinal matchups. And then coming up next on ACC Network, Duke and Louisville. The winner of that game takes on Boston College. A big reason why Virginia Tech has an 8-goal lead is their dominance on the draw. And credit Steve Skyra, the head coach's dad. He is an engineer that created the Southern Draw. So this is patent pending. 100% of Kristen's dad, Steve. I mean, this is incredible.
I saw Mr. Wagbo when after the UNC game and asked him about his Southern Draw prototype, and he was super proud. But it's also really, not only is it really insightful, it's really worked for them. The freshman draw taker has done phenomenal for them. Gresham just breaking the draw controls, and he's actually going to change the prototype a little bit. It was originally done in wood, now he's going to change it to aluminum. And he really said that Sarah Gresham has been a poster child to use that Southern Draw. And Kristen Skyra told us that there's been a couple other opposing coaches that have reached out to see if they could get one for their own teams.
Well, maybe Kristen's dad, Steve, can get an NIL deal going with some of these draw control takers around the country. And yeah, draw controls against Pitt, 11 today, and it has led to an 11-3 lead. This game really opened up when Virginia Tech went on a 9-0 run over the course of 15 minutes and 21 seconds. Pitt has continued to battle, but when you can just play make it, take it lacrosse like that, score a goal, win the draw, score a goal, win the draw, it becomes really difficult.
And the 2 leading scorers for Virginia Tech really just hitting their rhythm, connecting, whether it's assisting each other, finding the shots. Ella Rishko and Olivia Vergano have been successful all season long for the Hokies, but today in particular have been shooting extremely well. That's Vergano's 9th draw control to herself. Which makes it an even 100 draw controls for the season so far. So a really impressive statistic to go along with being the leading point getter.
All thanks to the Southern Draw. Vergano trying to pick up where she left off. 4 goals in that first half. Ella Rishko had 5, so 9 of the Hokies' 11 goals by that 2 underclassmen.
What a good hustle play.
Freshman goalie, yep. Molly Kane making her first career start.
She's been active outside of the cage. I like that coming out of a freshman. Leave that crease area, knows that her team needs the ball. It's whoever gets the ball when it goes out of bounds, whoever's closest to it gets possession.
Our spring football and NFL draft prep preview show continues next week. Our spring recap Monday, 7 Eastern time. The ACC Huddle crew as our draft special. We'll take a look at every single ACC player who could be picked over the 3 days of the NFL draft. That's 8:30 Eastern on Wednesday, right here on ACC Network.
What a stop. Seventh save of the day for Torres.
Another one of these star underclassmen for Virginia Tech.
Freshman goalie, and we saw her play earlier in the season. She did not look like a freshman. Had the confidence, the kind of attitude that you can see when you're watching a player and realize, wow, they look really like they've been doing this for years. Number 25 recruit in the nation. Kristen Styra, coach, telling us that she is a dream goalie and really she sees no weaknesses in her play.
And that's high praise on any goalie of any class, but for a freshman, incredible.
The difference between the high school game and the college game in terms of the shooters is tremendous, and the pace of play. So for a goalie to make that adjustment is a real testament to their skill.
And another freshman goalie, Molly Kane, gaining confidence as this game goes along. Great save on Vergano there. Seven saves now for Kane. And you have another freshman goalie in the ACC, Shea Dolce. So freshman goalie starting to dominate the ACC right now.
In years past, the ACC has announced an all-freshman team, and they've got there's a lot of good freshmen that have been making some real big waves. It'll be exciting to see who gets named.
Naylor, crafty move, and the finish. Sydney Naylor, terrific individual effort, exactly what Pittsburgh has needed.
Naylor, one of the players that Coach Boissonneau says she is the future of our offense. She just does it. This is a little face dodge here, back and forth, gets her defender off balance. And look at this, the change of levels with her shot. She gets her stick up high. She fires that low non-stick side. It's very hard for a goalie when their stick is in their correct hand, the right hand, and then to go across the body to the weak side to try to make that stop. It's the 19th goal of the season.
Pittsburgh scored the first goal of this game. Now they've scored the first goal of this second half. And what's unique to the sport of lacrosse is no matter how many you're down, you can come back, because if you score a goal, you get an opportunity to get the ball right back. Although they can't come up with the draw right into the stick of Vergano. Rishko lost the ball that time. Now Pittsburgh can start to clear through Kane.
It's a good move by Brittany Vilhauer for Pittsburgh just to get that ground ball on the turf, get it inside the crease. 11th turnover for Virginia Tech.
Naylor, who just scored the last goal for Pittsburgh, settling it down midway through the shot clock. Panthers looking for back-to-back goals. Passed it wide, stays with the Panthers. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Five seconds on the shot clock. Pittsburgh has to hurry here. That's a shot clock violation.
Pittsburgh just has to come up defensively, really make it hard for Virginia Tech to clear this ball, put pressure.
Rishko in attack mode again. Make it 6. Ella Rishko. That goal's some Hokies history too. Most goals scored in an ACC tournament game by a Virginia Tech player.
Rishko just continues her dominance of scoring, evades the defense, and gets the score. Virginia Tech with the lead.
Time to watch this, presented by Ally.
This is Talia Zuko gets the ground ball inside, but that is Jocelyn Torres with the save. This almost should count for 2 saves. Because the first one, it almost goes back in again, and she just does not take her eye off the ball. And watch this ground ball scoop up by Olivia Vergano. Excellent handle, only made prettier by the finish of the shot.
Jocelyn Torres, 7 saves. That one led to a goal. Vergano's got 4 goals. She's combined with her teammate, Ella Rishko. 10 of Virginia Tech's 12 goals. Incredible. Midway through this third quarter, 8-goal lead for Virginia Tech.
Good win for Jill Fennick from Pittsburgh on the draw. Well, Pittsburgh right now just has to focus on one play at a time, whether it's defense or on offense. Just try to tick away, make this game a little bit closer. And remember, coming into this game, they've got nothing to lose right now. Coach Bossino.
Do you play more aggressive when your season's on the line, Sheehan?
Yeah, you just leave it all out there. I mean, this is your last time as a team together. You have to win to make your season go on. You're coming in as the 10th seed, the underdog, so play hungry, be fearless. Leave it all out there.
Right on cue. Emily Coughlin rings the pipe and it bounces in.
I think this is when you rally everyone together, and Coughlin, one of the leaders, junior, she's someone that they look to really put the team on her back. And look at the spacing there. Everyone cuts through, so she's able to have a strong right-handed shot. Seventh ACC game with a goal for Coughlin. Look at the stats, 16 goals, 21 ground balls, and 34 draw controls.
Right now, Pittsburgh outscoring Virginia Tech in this third quarter. Even though the Hokies had a lead by as many as 8, Pittsburgh not going away. Sheehan just said it. When you realize this could be our final half of the season, you just find that extra effort, and that's what Pittsburgh is riding right now. Another draw control win.
Fennick's able to come up with it. We'll see it's going to go Virginia Tech's way, though. You see a green card.
just right down at 6:35.
So it was a warning for a non-engagement foul, so not actually a green card issued. And that was for Pittsburgh not giving the proper distance away on the foul.
Contact, no call. Vergano streaking the other way. Here come the Hokies. Vergano. Whistle dead. She was ready to go to cage.
Blue / 2-minute releasable.
And they're going to call a yellow card on that. So just because it's so dangerous, she wanted to keep going. And you could actually see by the way she was crouching her body that she could feel the presence of the stick being slashed. And you saw the one-handed slashing check. So that's just, it can look pretty controlled with these athletes out there, but that is super dangerous with no equipment on. So Pittsburgh gets their second yellow card foul of the day. But you hate to see it take away from advantage. I would love to see that held and then issued maybe after Vergano was able to go to cage.
I hope our production team has added another bullet to the Stanwyck Birch proposed rule changes. We've gotten a couple from Sheehan today, and Virginia Tech cashes in on the player up. The Hokies 2 for 2 with an extra woman on the field today, and they restore an 8-goal advantage.
This is just a beautiful pass, a shot here. Caroline Little, another freshman, is able to put her name on the stat sheet. Sixth goal this season and finishing strong, third straight game with a goal.
And Virginia Tech hoping to row the boat all the way to Charlotte. An 8-goal lead. A spot in Wednesday's ACC quarterfinals on the line. They would face Syracuse. Game certainly not over yet, but felt like Pittsburgh was starting to grab a little bit of the momentum, and a big Virginia Tech goal to stop that.
Pittsburgh's been able to come up with some draw control wins, get more possessions. And Virginia Tech just has answered with that draw control win and that last scoring play. They've been in a position to try to get a running clock. When a team leads by 10 or more goals, the clock starts to run. So right now, just with an 8-goal differential, Pittsburgh is still in this game. Virginia Tech's going to want to create more separation if they really want to try to secure the lead and the victory.
5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Still to come today in the ACC Championship first round, Duke and Louisville. Our second opening round matchup. 10 teams start the day. A week from now, there will just be 2 battling for the ACC Championship title.
Duke fell to Louisville in that regular season matchup, and then they had a really close game against UNC last week. Should be an exciting matchup.
Rishko passing this time. Great save, Molly Kane. Eight saves for Molly Kane in her debut start, making her first start ever in her career. Almost a 9th save. That one squeezed right by her. Anna Mardine notches her second goal of the afternoon.
Mardine, she works the crease so well throughout her career. Started out at Florida, played the last couple of seasons for Virginia Tech. She almost does a little jump shot on this. Is able to change the level of her stick, shoots it on the run, and Virginia Tech just having some momentum, putting things together now.
And you were right to point it out a couple of minutes ago, Sheehan. Pittsburgh in the danger zone right now because not only are you down 9 goals, one more goal and it begins a running clock. And then not only are you battling the deficit, you're batting the time as well. So it feels like now or never for Pittsburgh.
And Olivia Vergano, she is tough to stop. You got to be on her. 4 goals, 1 assist, and 11 draw controls to her name.
Wow.
See Martinet just coming behind the cage, asking for the ball, putting her hand down, almost like, let's take our time on this possession.
What a start to the ACC championship it's been for Virginia Tech. It's starting to look like a runaway train, and Ella Rishko, the conductor. 7 goals for the freshman, and that one puts Virginia Tech up by 10.
The clock will run on this score. Rishko, I mean, her ability to just run so fast, blow by the defenders, and she incorporates a little stutter step into her play, which gives the defense even more off rhythm. She attacks hard, goes from the top, gets herself to get a great angle. Most goals in an ACC tournament game in Virginia Tech history.
Just a freshman.
And we've talked about that youth movement for Virginia Tech. Freshmen and sophomores, just they are young but getting great experience.
All right, if she scores 10 goals in this game, so needs 3 more, Sheehan will do the can-can. I mean, this is incredible. First ever appearance in an ACC tournament game for Ella Rishko, the freshman, and the bright lights are on, and she is taking center stage. 7 goals. Still have to finish out this game, a 10-goal lead, so plenty of cushion for Virginia Tech. Then the Hokies can start thinking about Wednesday. A trip to Charlotte where 8 teams will play in Wednesday's quarterfinals. Virginia Tech set to face Syracuse. Who would have thought the Orange would have to be the 2 seed in this tournament? They've been perfect all season until the regular season finale loss to Boston College.
Which all the other teams probably didn't want to have happen, actually. You want to be the one to surprise Syracuse. If they needed a wake-up call, they got it. So now you're coming into a team that I'm sure is going to be super hungry and want to avenge that and get back to the #1 spot. But credit Boston College for a phenomenal game. You were on that, and it was fun to watch. Looked like Syracuse was in control the entire time, and BC just stormed back.
It really did. Syracuse led for most of the game. Boston College only led for 1 minute and 38 seconds, but it was enough to win the game. Incredible. And a lot of people thought the Eagles were kind of left for dead after that 11-goal loss to North Carolina, and then they lost by 5 to Denver. You're thinking, okay, I guess BC just not the same without Charlotte North, but I think they've showed in the really final stretch of this season they're a real contender.
Comeback victory against Notre Dame, who's been has an excellent season, really tough to stop. And then the comeback win against Syracuse just shows that you cannot count them out. They've been in the last 5 national championship games, and I don't expect them to miss out on this year's.
Under 10 in the 3rd quarter. Virginia Tech looking to add to their 10-goal lead. Off the pipe, inches away from an 11-goal advantage at the end of this 3rd quarter. They'll have to settle for 10. Still plenty comfortable headed to the 4th quarter. Our first game of 9 in the ACC championship, and Virginia Tech in the driver's seat.
ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Well, we head to the fourth quarter between Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. The Hokies a 10-goal lead. Winner of this game faces Syracuse. Sheehan and the Orange, one of the top contenders, not just in the ACC, but in the nation.
They have been extremely fun to watch this year. Still suffered some injuries, but their offense has been tough to stop. Megan Carney, Emma Ward, pick your poison, Emma Tyrell, Megan Tyrell. They've just been able to score from multiple different angles and engage so strong with Delaney Schweitzer. Look at the numbers there. I think what's most impressive not only is the shot percentage, because they are getting everyone's best effort. They're shooting over 50%, but the assists per game, just the feeding ability. There's really just no rhyme or reason of where the offense is going to go. They make it work. They're so unselfish. Really a thing of beauty, but Boston College got the best of them and stunned them. Co-champions between BC and Syracuse, but Boston College gets the #1 seed in this tournament. But as many have said, you'd rather lose in the regular season or the conference tournament. What matters is who is standing the Memorial Day weekend in May.
Yeah, that could end up going down as a quote-unquote good loss, right?
Totally. I mean, that's the way you have to sell it. And I think that it actually is really a good loss for Syracuse just because the way that it happened with Boston College coming back and Syracuse not really having the answer. They hadn't been in that position before. They've had some close games. Really close win over Northwestern. Their game against North Carolina was very tight, but they always figured out ways to win. I think it's good to get beat because it makes you have to get hungry again, figure out kind of what could we have done better, and realize that, coming into this tournament that you've got to be close to perfect and you can't have any letdowns.
And you and I will be doing the selection show again this year. I'm curious, do you think Syracuse, if the committee had to pick today, they would still be that 1 seed, or because of that loss, it's an unknown?
I think Northwestern could be really that #1 seed if the committee picked today. I mean, it's very hard to figure out how they would handle everything. Both have a really strong strength of schedule and RPI. Northwestern just with their lone loss back to North Carolina, Syracuse back the first game of this season.
That was a long time ago, though. I mean, how funny would it be if the first game of the season was Syracuse Northwestern and the last game of the season in the national championship was Syracuse Northwestern?
Well, a lot of fans would like to see that rematch. Two front runners right now for the Tewaaraton probably are Megan Tyrell from Syracuse and Izzy Skane of Northwestern. So it will be a fun battle.
2 seconds left on the shot clock. Great save, Molly Kane. So it's Pitt ball. The Panthers season likely to come to an end unless they can find a Herculean effort here in the fourth quarter, trailing by 10, and this clock will continue to run until Pitt can cut it to single digits.
That's going to be a
offensive foul.
And that's a good call. Defender Ella Rishko, she had positioning there. So just, looks a little extension of arms from that angle, but she had the positioning, and from that first angle, it really looked like Pitt intruded on in that space and barged her way in.
Let's go, defense! Do it again! Good job, Abby!
Pittsburgh's been getting a couple of stops on the defensive end. They need a spark offensively. Their last shot was with 6:50 to go in the third.
Ava Washington, number 0 with the ball, been held scoreless. Just 2 shots to her name.
Really nice effort inside. And that's Washington. You just shouted her out, Sheehan, and she must have heard you.
Well, I think she and their team knows they needed her to step up, and she gets the job done, absorbs that contact, somehow is able to split through that double team. That shot didn't have a lot of speed on it, but the placement, high bouncer. Nice composure for Washington. She gets it done, gets her 23rd goal this season.
Continues a 9-game goal scoring streak. And her father actually played college football here in Blacksburg for Virginia Tech under legendary head coach Frank Beamer. He was first team all-conference his senior year, then went on to play 8 seasons in the NFL, won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now currently an assistant coach with the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's made it so difficult for Pittsburgh to launch a comeback in this game is Virginia Tech's dominance at the draw, and in particular, Olivia Vergano, who just drew a yellow card.
She has been fun to watch, Vergano. Just not only her scoring ability, but just the ability to get possession.
2-minute release.
What a physical game. And this is the second yellow card being issued. So when a player gets 2 yellow cards, they remove them from the game. So you can see just the emotion. It's Pitt's 3rd yellow card. So this yellow card still is releasable, though, on a Virginia Tech score.
Tech 2 for 2. Player up today. Almost 3 for 3. Now, most teams would just focus on killing this penalty and going even strength in a situation like this, but with your season on the line, you have to be aggressive shorthanded, right?
Yeah, and we've seen goals score when you're a player down numerous times. You want to try to go to cage, try to draw a foul, but you're not worried about the clock here. You got to get points on the board.
Good opportunity, just couldn't get those hands free. Shot clock down to 15. Washington had a step. Great check. That's Jordan Tilley with a really nice individual effort defensively. Back to even strength. 9 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. First round of this ACC championship. 10 teams start today. In a week, we will have an ACC women's lacrosse champion. North Carolina's won this tournament the last 6 times it's been played. If I gave you the, the Tar Heels are the field. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you do have an edge when you've won the tournament that many times. It does give you confidence, but we've seen with North Carolina this year so many new faces. So that's going to be the difference maker. You can't count Carolina out for sure, but there's a lot of teams. I would not be surprised if it went to Boston College, Notre Dame, Syracuse, North Carolina. Outside of that 4, I would be surprised, but I think it could go anyone's way. Did I get Syracuse in there? Because they're definitely in the mix.
Yes, you did get Syracuse in there. just as Kayla Frank scores for Virginia Tech.
The fouls for Pittsburgh have hurt them today as Virginia Tech's been able to capitalize. And Kayla Frank evades the crease area and is able to get another score. Gets herself on the board.
So now we use that as media.
Timeout Pittsburgh after the Kayla Frank goal. The Hokies inching closer to a spot in the quarterfinals. Taking a look at the 2023 ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship bracket presented by Ally. Duke Louisville coming up next right after we finish here on ACC Network. Sheehan, what can we look forward to in this matchup?
Maddie Jenner continues her dominance on the draw, but that's not all Duke's going to need today. They lost a regular season matchup to Louisville, and they're going to need, even when they win the draw, you got to convert on those possessions. Nicole Peroni, super strong for Louisville, but should be an exciting matchup with a one-goal victory for Louisville in the regular season.
The winner will book a spot in Wednesday's quarterfinal, take on the #1 seed, Boston College. Just so great that all 10 teams qualify for postseason play, get an opportunity to keep their season alive, win a trophy, and become ACC champions. And it all happens very quickly here on Wednesday. 8 teams will shrink to 4, and then we'll have a champion crowned a week from today.
Most exciting week of lacrosse happening right now in the ACC. And it is, not all conferences allow every team to be in the conference tournament. So the ACC, it's helpful because it gives you hope. You win this conference tournament, you get into the NCAA tournament. Doesn't matter your record. To get an at-large bid, you've got to be above that 500 winning game threshold.
Under 7 minutes now in this fourth quarter. What has impressed you most about Virginia Tech this afternoon, Sheehan?
You know, I think it's their youth, and that's one of the things that Coach Skyra talked about, but really how they do have so much strength and how those freshmen on their team are not playing like freshmen anymore. Ella Rishko going to Cage does not look like she's a newcomer to college lacrosse, and by April, you're not a newcomer anymore, so you can even see them playing more like veterans.
I can keep running. You can tell I'm game fucking.
And the draw control wins. I mean, they've been dominant against Pitt today, and that's been very impressive. And something they're going to need when they face Syracuse, if they're able to come out with this victory today, which looks like they will.
Come on, Alexa!
Vergano finds Rishko. Those two have been the headliners today for Virginia Tech.
Let's go, defense! Yeah, Alexa! Come on, Jill!
Vergano again, the spin. Hands free. Just missed. Pittsburgh there to back it up. Vergano 4 goals today, 12 draw controls, an impressive performance for her.
Nice stick for Rishko, just getting her stick in that passing lane.
Pittsburgh facing reality now. Under 5 minutes left in this Panthers season. They'll leave the ACC winless in year number 2. Where do the Panthers go from here, Sheehan? A lot of young players as they continue to build this program.
You know, I mean, I think, one, you realize you're playing in the ACC, so there, Virginia Tech's going to be able to get another goal. This ACC is a gauntlet of a schedule. You're playing with the best players in the nation, some of the best teams in the nation. So while it's tough that Pitt's wasn't able to get a conference win this season, they know that they've got a strong future ahead. They're building for the future, opting not to go dip into the transfer portal as much as they did their first year, really building the players they had, giving them great game experience.
I'm confused why the clock's not running here. 11-goal game, should be a running clock.
Well, the card.
Looks like there's I think the stoppage of play. We'll see if they're officially awarded a card. And Pittsburgh got awarded a yellow card, so on that play, Sammy Giroux for Pittsburgh is sidelined, so that is the reason the clock did stop.
And another for Virginia Tech. A quick strike. Blair Guy again. 2 goals in 20 seconds for the Hokies. And Virginia Tech with a lot of momentum now headed into the quarterfinal.
We got a little worm action going on too. Sideline still's got some energy. And so that yellow card, after your team's 4th and each subsequent yellow card, the penalty becomes unreleasable. So that's one of the reasons that Virginia Tech opted to go to goal there. They're still going to be a player up. So Pitt, the fouls getting on the 8 and some of the yellow cards have really hurt them today. We're going to see a goalie change for Pittsburgh. Hannah Van Middelen, the grad student.
229, Jeff.
And what's so funny is these two teams met on March 11th, and that game was 19-6. Eerily similar scoreline. Virginia Tech has left no doubt here at home in the first round of the ACC championship. Matchup with Syracuse awaits on Wednesday. Stay tuned because first draw just a couple of minutes away between Duke and Louisville. Yellow card comes out here against Virginia Tech.
That was a check to the head, so 32, Lizzie Lurer will be on a 2-minute releasable penalty. This is Virginia Tech's first yellow card. A win today gets you down to Charlotte. Games being played at American Legion Memorial Stadium, so no one's getting a home. Last year, Notre Dame had the hosting opportunities, but no host school from the ACC in terms of it being on a campus site. So everyone's going to be traveling. We're going to see another yellow card being issued. So officials, just even though the clock is winding down, trying to keep this game safe.
45 white, check to the head.
2 players up now for Pittsburgh. I wonder for Virginia Tech, why would you still be aggressive? You're up 12 goals, no reason. Nice save by Torres on the free position. Maybe good practice for this Hokies woman down defense. And they get the turnover.
And you can hear the excitement from the bench. 2 players down, coming up with the ground ball.
Virginia Tech just trying to kill this clock. 2 players down and a 12-goal lead.
You don't need to keep the ball in a certain area. They can utilize the whole field. They can go backwards. Still have the shot clock. Just about 60 seconds left.
Just stay. Good job,
Surprised that Pitt's not trying to get the ball back. I mean, at this point, you just want to keep everyone safe. The official's been handing out quite a few cards in the last couple of minutes, so don't want to be overly aggressive.
This is just the beginning of what is set to be a spectacular week in ACC women's lacrosse. The first of 9 games to decide the 2023 ACC champion. Pittsburgh season coming to a close, but they're battling to the final whistle. All you can ask for. And it's Virginia Tech that will emerge victorious today. A 12-goal win, Sheehan.
They've earned the right for their season to continue, make the trek to Charlotte, and live to see another day in the ACC. What a win for Virginia Tech.
A spot in the quarterfinal claim to match up with Syracuse on Wednesday. You look at that wild Wednesday set, 4 quarterfinal matchups, all for you right here on ACC Network. Who will be that 8th team to take on Boston College? Duke and Louisville, and they're underway. Let's get you out to Louisville now.